thing for me. Close that bathroom door for me. That it's not on because I'm trying that thing song coming in.
As I said,
Put on pause.
we have to start challenging the.
Drink off my green juice. My green juice. The green juice nice. Yes, I. Enough iron. I have my figs and my Brazilian nuts. Yes, I. Blessed, blessed to the universe, blessed to the people, them in the universe. Blessed to all God-fearing people, them. Blessed to all good-hearted people, them. Blessed to all uprighteous people, people that just try to survive. Hey, people, share this life right here. Share this one here. Make sure you smash that like button. Today is a different day. See, cause the Black Star love to touch every aspect, every corner. I leave no stone unturned. See there? I turn up everything. I bring the truth to the people there every day. Most I allow me to find the truth and bring it. No. I always say half of the story never been told. I always said half of the story never been told. Well, some of us are tricked, bamboozled, can't get it right, never will get it right, lost under ignorance. See? And worst of all, majority of us is malfunctioning. So we'll never get this thing, majority of us. We'll keep on pointing the fingers at each other, and we will never get to see the whole intellect, the true essence of the problem. No, I don't practice racism. Okay? So, when I'm on top, those of, first of all, I will come back and rewind and come again. Big up. I have to send the most highest respect to the kings of kings and lords of lords. I have to send it unto the divine vine. I have to send it unto the Most High. The Most High will create all things. See, I have to glorify the name of Yeshua, the name, see, of the Alpha and Omega. Yeah, I don't care how people want to mix it and mingle it and get it tangled up and come with excuses to bamboozle people some more. Who want to get bamboozled that have a problem? But me, no way. So I said, oh, ye enemies of the Most High, stand back, come out of thy way, oh ye enemies of the Most High. And I know why, man. See, because Most High give I the power to go China. So no evil forces can hold I. Then could only try linger and try stop my thing. But the truth will reveal. So, all the enemies of the Most High, flee. Because you can't stop this one here. See? This one now I'm no preacher and no pastor and no higher authority. I tell him what to do. The only one that I tell me are the one way, the divine vine. So people, long time we are dealing with history. Long time we are dealing with corruption. Long time we are dealing with abomination. Long time we are sending the youth them go to school to learn, to be educated. Educated. And yet still, where them a teach we? Nah, nothing to do with we. Alright? So these demon forces been playing a game a long time. I will expose them today. I will expose them from all of the torturing, the murdering, the hanging, the lynching, the prisoning, the gun shooting, all executing. I will expose them today because they've been lying to us. They've been lying to us and confusing us. They've been having us going around bumping our head on all type of rock, stone, boop, bap, boop, bap. Everybody got cocoa, pure cocoa in their head. They might bump them head all over. Share this life, people, because this one's serious. This one, you see this talk you saw today, hotter than fire. Me say it in a temperature of lava that melt down all wicked heart, all corruption, all colonial system. Welcome colonize upon the people. Welcome, where them do? Where them do? They imprison you. They enslave you. You're a prisoner of war. Yeah, because they come conquer. As that them do. If you are somewhere and someone comes on your property and falsely take it away from you, they don't gangster you. Is this not form of gangsterism when them use? And to make sure that you will never rise, they eradicate every form of history, artifacts that you could have. They even snatch your brain. Them it's like they disarm you and then them just make you look like you just did it, you don't know your purpose. That's why a lot of black people are lost. A lot of our people are lost because we always waiting for a savior. So today I'm going to bust it. You see me? Now remember what the BlackStar said. I know today is a God, but them now got trick me with them philosophy, where them trick my forefathers with. You see that? Me is the baby where they pan the suckling at the breast. And me tell them, say, them can't trick me, and them now got trick my offsprings then. So this is one tribe of people, they ask, a generation of people of my descent, that definitely is a new generation that is coming with the truth, because freedom father show them the truth, freedom father acknowledge the truth. The one of me youth them. So today I bring history where was hidden from the eyes of the people, and I have to big up the man where bring out them history there. I think this brother is a Jamaican brother. I could say not even a Jamaican brother, because a lot of people saying they are Jamaicans, they are this, they are St. Lucian, Guyanese, and that's why I don't hold no flag. I never fly in a flag. You never see me with a flag. I will not fly in a flag, because these are the symbols where when they buy you and make you know your property, your ownership. You see me there? So you are under them law, order, and statutes. You see me there? So I'm in a fly flag. How could I fly a flag of any nation that actually enslaved me and make sure they will eradicate my identity for eternity? Have my people that bamboozle going around bumping their head, blaming each other, creating all type of illusions out of their head, and they are going to school and learning this madness, and then you expect them to find themselves. They could only find themselves when they are situated in the society that it has set to groom them and grow them. Heart of fire and heart of flame. Come on now, hear the thing now. What's the brother name? Okay, people, I tried to get the brother name. Well, I didn't get the name. I just get the documentary. The name is there, I just got the little thing on it. But I'm going to bring this piece of documentary for all those of us who hear about slavery, or talk about slavery, who don't understand slavery. It's not slavery, it was ownership. We was prisoners of war. And even our cousins that sold us even into the strangers, and even him himself feel the pain also, because when you rise against your brother, most I make sure that sin, that abomination that the same that you set for your brother is the same that you're gonna get. That is why there's an old saying, if you are setting a trap for your brother, make sure you set one for yourself too. Make sure you set one for yourself too. Make sure you set one for yourself too. If you are setting a trap for your brother, make sure you set one for yourself, because your brother might fall in that ditch, but when you fall, have you ever wondered where you'll fall? Okay, people, so watch it. Run the history. The history would have been hidden, that is not being taught into the schools, that have not been taught in no classroom. So our children, that is the future, could know themselves and know who they are, and they could start sagging their pants, and they could stand upright like real kings, not men, real kings, because we all are kings and queens. You hear, people? Run the trap. Turn it up.
Because it's not entirely true. To say that the history of Jamaica that I was taught at KC,
Pause a minute.
or the history that I...
So, I forget to say, there's a lot of people going around, you hear them saying, me a Jamaican, me a Jamaican. It's like everybody are going around proclaiming some nationality, and that is what brings the whole big division between man and man, woman and child, dog and puss. You see that? Read the things. Go on now.
The University in New York is inconsistent is an understatement. Entire chunks, thousands of years of history have been omitted from what we were taught. We're not going to go that deep today. The idea today is to fill in some of the blanks and show you how it all connects to the circumstances that we find ourselves in on this island right now. Because we think that history is a dead thing, but it's not. It's the history that sets up the present and the future.
That's right.
All right? This first slide, I'm being kind of tongue-in-cheek about it. Just to make you wonder, what makes you Jamaican? And what makes this island Jamaica? You ever wondered about that? Who told you you were Jamaican? We know it wasn't God. And if God never tell you, then it can't be true. It must be that someone made it up. Anyway, history is a weapon. And much of the history that we were fed in school is a fiction. But it was told to us in order to make us accept that England has a legitimate claim to own the island, fair and square. And that we are merely immigrants here, so we can't really challenge their ownership, can we? And second, that history is intended to make us believe that the government we have is legitimate, and that we are responsible for the debts that our government incurs. We're going to see how that's not entirely so. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to take down some of these lies, which means that we're going to have to correct 500 years of history, from 1494 to 2014, and 520 years.
520 years.
7 points we're going to cover. The first point, Christopher Columbus was not an explorer. There were no such people as Arawak Indians, certainly not here. There was no transatlantic slave trade. I know that one sounds kind of shocking. There was no slave trade. There's no such island as Jamaica. We were never given independence in 1962. We are not Jamaicans. Of course, if there's no island such as Jamaica, then there can't be people called Jamaicans, right? And finally, the government is not ours, which explains a lot, doesn't it? Not really working for us. All right, so first lie.
First
No
lie.
such people as Arawak Indians. We're told that Christopher Columbus encountered a race of people he called Arawaks. But Spanish historians describe these Arawaks as docile, medium build, copper-colored people.
Docile,
Like the ones you see on the coat of
copper
arms.
people.
With straight black hair.
Straight black hair.
And they said that they lived here for up to 10,000 years.
They said they lived up to 10,000 years.
Problem is, no evidence of these people has ever been found.
No evidence.
Understand that there is no Jamaican archaeology.
None at all.
There's nobody out there digging up any part of this island to try to find any evidence of anything. So they found no burial grounds, no tombs, no temples, not even a bone fragment or hair follicle so we can test some DNA. None of this, even though they say that these people lived here for 10,000 years. How do you live anywhere for 10,000 years and not leave an archaeological record of yourself? That's because those Arawak Indians never existed here. In fact, the only people that we can prove existed here in this region are the so-called Caribs.
Caribs!
And guess what? The Caribs are not medium-built, copper-colored people.
No.
They are black. If anyone's ever been to Trinidad or St. Vincent or St. Lucia or St. Kitts, where these Caribs supposedly were, you'll see that the people that call themselves Caribs are black. They do have some of them curly hair, straight hair, but we know that that exists inside the black gene pool anyway. Alright? There were no Arawak Indians in this entire region.
I can't answer
Research
questions right now.
by pioneering black historians and anthropologists reveal that the people Columbus actually encountered here in 1494 were likely the same as he encountered in America, which he wrote about in his journals. They were black-skinned, nappy-haired Nubians.
Nubians!
Okay? There's another explorer named Giovanni de Verrazzano who came to America about 20 years after Columbus, 1514, and he wrote in his journal that the people he encountered were Ethiopian. He said nothing about copper-colored people. And if those people had existed in the Americas for thousands of years, it's a fair expectation that they lived on these islands as well. They lived everywhere. And we're going to see that they left evidence everywhere. So, the point I'm making is, most of our ancestors were already here. Alright? And they've been here for tens of thousands of years, as I'm going to prove.
The Anunnakis!
Historians have discovered what they were called. They were called the Amaru. Amaru. This is where the term America comes from. It doesn't come from Amerigo Vespucci. It came from the Amaru, because they knew who was here originally. And another name for them is the Olmec sheep. Well, guess what? Mech, sheep, co, Mexico. That's where the term Mexico comes from. So if you talk about Americans or Mexicans, you're talking about our ancestors. And they inhabited the entire region, as I showed you, North, Central, and South America, and the Caribbean. They are the real Amerindians that I was taught in high school, and they were black people. You don't know them because Europeans gave them other names, just like they made up the name Arawak from the Arawak. They made up all these other names to keep you from realizing that everything in the Americas is you. Every artifact they find is you. Every monument they find, you built. But instead they tell you it's Maya, and Inca, and Aztec, and Toltec, and Taino, and Carib, and Arawak. These are all names they made up. Understand that. Alright. And of course, they told you that this is what the Arawak looked like. Or the Amerindians. Right? Anyone ever seen any Jamaicans looking like this?
I wish I could have shown you.
You know why? They never existed here. They want you to think that that's what the Arawak looked like, because they don't want you to know that this is what they look like.
You seen the picture of
These are the original Amaru Khans. These are the original Olmec sheep.
Hold up. I think I could get the picture. We'll take the baby. I'm going to show y'all, because y'all just hang words, but y'all, I need y'all to see some things too. Let's go back. Taking 1 minute, people. I'm on a mission here. You know I got a little boy here. He always wait when I'm doing something to want to come on.
are our ancestors. These are called the Olmec Colossi. Colossi from colossal. And these are massive stone carvings of white people. I mean, this guy looks pretty white, right?
No.
This is a white dude, right?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, well, okay. These are black people. And they're carved out of one solid piece of basalt rock. Basalt is the second hardest rock on earth. First hardest is granite, which is what the...
And people, you see that same head that you see there? You find them in China. You find them all over the world, these heads. These heads with massive nose and big lip. Look at the Buddha in China. Go look at the Buddha, and you'll know it's a black man sitting there. I'm not racist, but the truth is the truth. History will not want to tell you what it really is, because we are a people of strong value. We are kings and queens. Before the younger brother, his technology could be what it is us who taught him. So these heads, come on, look. So these heads, these are stone carving heads that you would see in Asia. And one time, when they say Asia was running stuff, yeah, but we were still in Asia leaving our trails and our stuff, because all where we've been, we leave evidence there. That's why these people that saying that they figure that the island Jamaica, that's their ancestors or whatever, like the brother said. If your ancestors was living somewhere for 10,000 years, they would have things that they would leave, things that were able to relate to you. There's nothing there, just the turf, just the island, because they were brought there. Okay? These slaves and these people, that's all mixed to make the country, the island Jamaica, with its people. The people are all mixed. It's Chinese, it's white, it's German, it's a whole breeding thing. And if you want to say call something original, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people don't look at Haiti. They put Haiti down to the dirt. They put Haiti down to the dirt. But with this piece of history that's coming here, that I'm allowing you to see, it will all fall in place only if you listen. And I said, if you like this channel, smash that like button, okay? And listen to the truth. Oh, ye enemies of the Most High Jah, flee before the presence of the Most High.
That's what pyramids are made out of. And they've dated these heads, and they estimate that they're somewhere between 16,000 to 20,000 years old. Stop and think about that, beloved. 20,000 years ago, a race of black people excavated massive granite rocks out of the mountains, basalt rocks, and then etched themselves into these rocks. What kind of technology would they have had to be able to do this 20,000 years ago? Because it wouldn't have been a copper chisel. All right? And I like this slide. Just a comparison. Here's a white dude, and here's a white dude. Right? So we were certain that the Olmec were white. Okay.
You see this? Until now. You see this? That resembles, right? That's a two black face right here. This is a face over 20,000 years ago, carving of a face. And this is a modern face right here. And you see, look at it. Look at the lips on it. All right?
These depictions weren't just depictions of ourselves. Because if you think about it, I'm not sure why it would be necessary to carve yourself into stone like that. These were actually depictions of our gods. But that's a powerful statement, isn't it? That the depictions of the gods look just like the people. You see what I'm saying? Okay? Historically, every ancient culture always depicted their gods to look like themselves. There's a reason it says in the book that the Creator created man in His image. That means your God must have looked like you. And since there's 5 billion black people on the planet, I would like to believe that a black God created me. I'm just saying. So those are the Olmec colossi, and as I said, they're depictions of the black gods. And the people were the builders of civilizations. They were not primitive. Primitive people couldn't do that. And like our Kemetic ancestors from Egypt, our Olmec ancestors engineered entire city complexes. Thousands of years before Europeans crawled out of their caves.
You heard?
Historians have nicknamed the Olmec the Mound Builders. They call them Mound Builders because they built these megalithic structures all over the Americas. This is the Pyramid of the Moon. It is in a place called Teotihuacan in Mexico. This pyramid is the second largest, well, it was the second largest pyramid by volume on the planet. It's now the third largest. And I don't know if you can get an appreciation for the scale of this, but I like this picture because see these tiny dots, that's people. Just to show you how massive this thing is. And unlike the pyramids of Egypt, the pyramids built by the Olmecs were meant for you to mount. They were meant for you to climb them and go up there and behold the greatness of your ancestors. This was built by black people. The same Stoneheads I just showed you, white archaeologists have confirmed that they were also the builders of these pyramids. This pyramid is 20,000 years old.
You heard?
And it is built from granite. And it is still standing, unlike the World Trade Center. This used to be the biggest pyramid on the planet by volume. It's called the Pyramid of the Sun. It's on the same complex. This was built by black people. It is massive. It's called the Pyramid of the Sun because it is designed to align with solar phenomena. This is the new King of the Hill. Remember I said to you, this one was the biggest pyramid on the planet. That was until 6 years ago, when they stumbled onto this. This is called El Mirador. It is in Mexico. Mirador is a Spanish word for veranda or rooftop.
El Mirador.
Because they discovered that when you stand on the top of this, you can see for miles.
Yes, I.
And guess what? When they stood on the top of it, now this has been covered up by jungle. Just to show you, imagine how old this is. This is real. This is not from a movie. This is not special effects. This is an actual photograph. Alright? This pyramid is massive. You can't even see the base of it. It is so old that trees were growing up from inside it. This is in Guatemala, Central America.
Guatemala.
And this whole area was covered up by jungle for thousands of years. They don't even know exactly how
This is right now existing in
so
Guatemala.
far, they've estimated it's 26,000 years.
The estimate of it's like 26,000 years. And that will not be taught in history school, in our schools.
Built 26,000 years ago, at least, built by the Olmec sheep, black people. So that's the first lie about Arawak. The second lie, Cristobal Colon was a mercenary. This is the man that you know as Christopher Columbus. Anybody ever wondered why suddenly in 1492 all these Europeans decided that they were going to jump on boats and start exploring everywhere?
Listen!
Well, there's a reason. There's always smoke, fire behind the smoke. In 1491, 1 year before his first voyage,
1491.
there was a war between the Moors and the white Europeans. Actually, that war had been going on for a very long time. The Moors had ruled Western Europe for 700 years. But in 1491, when Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand defeated them at Granada in Spain, Pope Innocente, I love how the popes always have nice names. Pope Innocent.
Pope Innocent.
Pope Innocent the Eighth legalized the enslavement of black people all over the world and the theft of their lands and their wealth by white Europeans. This happened in 1491, and then in 1492, the voyages all started, right? You had Portugal, Spain, the Dutch, France, and Britain. Everybody just started exploring the so-called New World. How can it be the New World, by the way, if it's older than your world? I mean, I just showed you a 26,000-year-old pyramid in the New World. Anyway, Columbus's first voyage was a military reconnaissance mission. Everybody understand what that is? When you want to wage a war with an enemy that you're not familiar with, you send somebody to scope them out. See how fortified their nations are, see what kind of weaponry they have. And we know this for a fact because he only took 3 ships. Everybody knows the name of those 3 ships, right?
Isabella.
Nina, Pinta, Santa Maria.
Pinta, Santa.
And he only took about 80 crewmen.
And Isabella.
But when he came back in 1496, 17 warships and 1,300 soldiers. Those ships were carrying cannons, those ships were carrying armory.
So they came to rob the people.
Columbus and his crew sailed from island to island, wiping out the natives who fought back and enslaving the survivors.
Unenslaving the
survivors. This mass murder was justified
as converting
savages
they were doing
to Christianity.
There you go, you heard?
In order to bring them under the dominion of Rome.
You heard?
It's called forced denationalization. Denationalization is when somebody takes away your indigenous rights.
And that's what
dispossession is when someone takes away your birthright property.
Your birthright, all of that.
That was what this whole voyage was about. Because that was the only way they could claim the land. They had to wipe out and disinherit the rightful owners.
You heard? Wipe out.
That is why they made up the story of
the rightful owners.
They don't want to admit that they came here, saw black people, and tried to eradicate all of them and then enslave the rest of them. And that their ownership of our island was illegal from day one. This was all done, as I said, with the blessing of the Pope and the Roman Empire, which owned the Kingdom of Spain, Kingdom of Britain, the Kingdom of France. And everything the Romans did, they carried around a red cross. We know the red cross. We're familiar with it, right? The first time we saw those red crosses was on these guys. These are the Knights Templar. Yeah. The Templar were the armies that were sent into Africa to conquer and destroy. We also know the Red Cross from these 3 ships come sailing in
Santa Maria.
From Cristobal Colon. This is the Santa Maria, the Nina, and the Pinta. See, same Red Cross. Pay attention to that Red Cross.
Pay attention to the Red Cross.
All crosses lead to Rome. There's a reason that our ancestors
all crosses lead to Rome.
What does crosses mean in our language?
When bad things are coming around you.
They knew that anytime some bad shit happened, crosses was behind it. Alright? But here's another place that you'll find that red cross that you probably never thought about. Look at this. What's that? What's this? This is a red cross.
And look into the symbol.
Right,
the same people will conquer them, see them there. The same people, look ahead of them.
And you know how we know it's the cross of the Templars? Because what's this? That's Knight's armor.
Knight's armor.
On our coat of arms. Alright? And then of course we have the fake arrow, that's medium Roman docile, long-haired people. And out of many one people, you guys know that the last census, which was done in 2011, confirmed that this island's population is 98% Indians. Out of which many? Which many people? There's only one people on this island. But here you are, the Red Cross. Crosses, that's who owns the island.
Crosses.
And of course, all crosses lead to Rome and this pedophile. This is the last Pope, Pope Benedict. I call him Pope Maledict because I'm going to keep the language clean because we're recording it. And again, by the way, let me just say, I mean, I know that the Christians in the room know that your religion and this man are not the same thing, okay? All right. All crosses lead to Rome. All right. Point number 3. Was it a slave trade or was it a transatlantic war? The story of a massive 300-year slave trading operation that brought 12 million Africans to the Americas, that's North, Central, and South, is a cover story for the European crusade against our black ancestral civilizations. As I just said, the Pope authorized it in 1491, and suddenly they were out there discovering places full of people. Places that weren't lost were being found. The slave trade was part of a centuries-long race war. Now this is powerful stuff. This is powerful stuff.
Powerful.
Let me not get ahead of myself. In this war, Arabs, pale Arabs, who had been in conflict with the black Islamic empires of Africa since 1189, allied themselves with the white Europeans and black Christian converts in 1491 to wage a war that would destroy every black civilization on the planet.
Every black
civilization. A lot of stuff I'm going to touch on. I'm not going to go too deep into it because it's just outside the scope of this. This transatlantic war combined military invasion and genocide with biological, psychological, social, legal, and financial tactics to achieve total domination over indigenous Nubian peoples. The defeated Nubians were captured as prisoners of war. Again, we go back to the Europeans and their wordplay. The people you are calling slaves are prisoners of war. They're prisoners of war. And what you're calling a slave trade was a war. It was a race war. This strategy was done in order to dismantle families, tribes, and nations. You break them up. That's divide and conquer. To destroy languages, cultures, and lineages. And to dictate a new name, a new identity, and a new story for our people. In other words, to replace our greatness with weakness. To tell us that we didn't accomplish or build anything.
We are beggars.
We started out as slaves. So how were we made slaves? It was a process. It was a strategy.
Listen.
First, armed mercenaries invade your island and overpower your warriors. Check. Then they established seaports like Port Antonio and Port Royal and Old Harbor and Kingston and Port Murray and Runaway Bay. These are ports from which to coordinate their massacre of the native populations. Step 3, you then enslave the surviving population. Obviously, if you show up here and let's say he wiped out 1 million Nubians on Jamaica in 1494. What do you think the other million are going to do? I mean, that's what you call literally putting the fear of God into people. So we walked into slavery, some of us. Some of us fought back, and we know who those people were. Step 4, you then prevent them from teaching one another. We take so many things for granted, but understand that 150 years ago, it was illegal for black people on Jamaica to learn to read and write. It was against the law to teach a Negro to read or write. Do not take it for granted, beloveds.
Facts.
Use your intelligence. And step 5, you impose a foreign religion that teaches the natives that they are savages and their invaders are servants of God. Now, I just want to say ahead of time, I'm not attacking anybody's religion.
I am not attacking anybody's religion.
Because from my perspective, the blackness comes first.
True indeed.
I really don't care what you call yourself. I call myself Buddhist.
I am that.
I don't care what you call yourself. You can pick any religion.
I am that.
But the blackness comes first.
There you go.
So when I talk about Christianity, I'm talking about Christianity in the context of history. I'm not attacking your religion. I'm not attacking Christians.
I'm not attacking Christianity, and I'm not attacking
But
nobody's
religion is a
religion.
weapon of conquest.
But
Religion
religion
is a weapon of
is
conquest. As I
a
said,
weapon
it is
of
not
conquest.
possible for 10% to enslave the 90% without messing with them psychologically. It's just not possible. All right? So this is where Christianity came in. Christian doctrine was used. Notice I said it was used. I didn't say that it taught this, but it was used to teach them that God, Jesus, looked like their slave masters. We all know the picture of white Jesus. Right? This was necessary in order to convince us that our enslavement was the will of God. It had to be. Because they came with the power of God. They had weapons that we hadn't seen before. They wiped out millions of us. They put the fear of God inside us, and then they put up an image of God. And we feared that image. Because every time we saw him, the slave master. Every time. Every time. That's why we were obedient. And it wasn't just that. But I want to show you that this is what makes this possible. You see that? This is from an island in the Pacific called Tuvalu. It's one of the last colonies that Britain conquered in 1968. Ain't that some shit? Right after we got independence, they were still going out there conquering more black people. They gave these people independence in November 1978, the year and month I was born. But of course, you know their independence doesn't mean anything because this was taken in 2012. Do these guys look independent to you? Do they look like they want to be carrying around this white dude as their king? And make no mistake, we do the same thing on this island. We just don't put him up on the pedestal. And finally, the Bible, conveniently, is full of scriptures that made you accept all of this domination. And I want to begin by reading to you one particularly pernicious section of scripture. Now again, let me just make it clear. This is not the word of God. This is not the word of God. This is the word of men written into the book.
Now listen, people. This is the BlackStar. If you like what's going on, smash that like button. I always tell y'all people, yes, I am a believer. I am employed by the Most High. But these demons who pretend that they are chickified, they are taken out and they are putting in. That's why some people don't want to read Bible. That's why some people don't really understand what is the church. The body is the temple, but they want to run to the church and to the gathering. What they don't know, the gathering is wherever 1, 2, and 3, and your body is the temple of thee. So what I am simply saying, people, that be mindful that they will put things in the Bible. Come turn and listen to me. They will, give me a minute. They will put things in the Bible that don't have. They will put things in the Bible that they will put things into the Bible. They will put and they will take out. So let's go here and see what this brother is speaking about. And we could even go and look onto the verse that he's speaking about. And we're going to see if on that concept, if it's not someone, like I said, tempering with the work of God.
That you were told is the word of God. You follow me? God didn't say this. God didn't sanction any of this. God couldn't possibly have done that because God had to have been black. But I want you to read this because you need to understand the psychology.
We need them
First
to
Peter,
understand.
chapter 2, verse 18 to 20.
First Peter, chapter 2, verses 20.
In reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters.
To your masters.
Not only to those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh.
You heard?
What?
What?
What? For it is commendable if someone bears up, that means endures, bears up under the pain of unjust suffering because they are conscious of God. It is commendable for you to endure enslavement because you honor God when you do so. Alright? Now this part I love. But how is it to your credit if you receive a beating for doing wrong and endure it?
You heard that?
In other words, if you disobey your master and you get beaten, it's not commendable. There's no honor in that. Don't disobey your master. Don't try to free yourself. Don't run away. Don't set some slaves free. It's not commendable. But if you suffer for doing good, meaning doing what the master tells you, and you endure it, this is commendable before God. This is the depth of the psychological programming that was done to our ancestors right here on this island.
And that is
This is not the word of the Creator. This was put into the book to ensure that an agenda was followed.
So Peter chapter 1.
So, have you ever wondered how these churches got started on this island? Starting in the mid-1700s, the plantation masters opened up the religion to the slaves. But they did it a very specific way. First of all, they made sure that one slave was taught how to read and write. This would have been the only literate black man in the room. And he would have been a house slave. But here's where this gets deep. The white master is sitting in the midst of the congregation. He's overlooking his slaves. But he's there to make sure that this guy teaches them what he's supposed to teach them. Right? This guy was called the overseer. Anybody here goes to a church of God? Pentecostal church? This is where your overseer came from. The overseers are not black, but this is where they came from. Again, this is not to attack your religion, it's just to show you that religion was used.
Not attacking religions, we're just explaining something.
In order to conquer us. Now this one is going to be shocking. You are bonded property.
Of course, you are.
A slave is bonded or bounded, same word, same root. Bonded, bounded, binded, same root, same word. The Spanish has succeeded in stripping the island of all its gold. We know that because we know that Columbus, after 6 years in this region, went back to Spain with so much gold that the price of gold collapsed in Europe, and suddenly gold was worthless. So the British couldn't rely on gold. The Spanish took all of that. This island had two things that were more valuable than the gold. This island had agriculture, and it had black people. And so the British figured out a system in which they could use both of those resources to their advantage. This is the beginning of what you know as stocks and bonds. What was a stock? Your ancestors. Livestock, cattle, chattel. You've heard the term chattel slavery? Chattel is property. This is where it comes from. It literally comes from cattle, from livestock. That's why they used to literally brand the slaves with a hot iron, just like they did their cows. So that was a stock. The bond was the certificate of ownership. So Raymond Reynolds, would be a stock. And the piece of paper that says that Mr. Reynolds owns me would be my bond. Alright? And that bond carried a value. A field slave, or I should say a warrior slave, was worth more than a field slave, was worth more than a house slave, was worth more than a female slave, and so on. So the bonds varied in value. Alright? The buying, selling, and trading of these bonds is what became known as the stock exchange. Like New York Stock Exchange. like London Stock Exchange, which, by the way, was founded in 1678. So we know it was right there in the slavery mix.
Ja!
And I'm going to show you all what a modern bond looks like. Who knows what this is? This pretty decoration around the side, that's what makes it legal bonded paper.
That look like a birth certificate, right?
It says right up here. It's a certificate.
Yeah. So, your business, the money and money are for
This is a
you.
bond.
Remember
Remember,
to buy a
stock.
certificate. Yeah, for
This is
what?
my bond.
You have a bond going on here.
And my bond carries a value,
Of course.
depending on the quality of my stock.
Right? So we are livestock.
This is the basis of the stock exchange. This is what built the economy of England.
Right?
Now let's zoom in on this.
Bless. Peace and blessings.
This is a bond number.
Look at it, good people.
It's called a sequence number.
Your birth
Financial
certificate.
number starts with A for asset. This seal is a seal of the corporation that registered you.
Right?
We can spend
It's
a
a
whole
corporation registering us. Every time your baby
Here
born.
we have the certifying officer. The signature is important. It's what certifies it, and then it's sealed. And we all know the Red Cross, the Cross of Rome. It's right there on your bond certificate. Rome owns you. This is not a play game. It's not theoretical. This is how the global financial system was actually built. And it's how it still functions. It is how white Europeans continue to extract wealth from black people. Point number 6, moving through these, the so-called independence at last. Okay, in 1692, when colonial government was pretty much set up, right? Remember, they took it over in 1655, they named it Jamaica in 1661, by 1692 they had this lockdown. That government consisted of a governor, an executive council, and magistrate courts of admiralty. All the courts in Jamaica up until 1962 were officially maritime courts. That means they were courts of commerce. It had nothing to do with law or common law. The governor was known as the Lord of the Land, and the chief commander of the Jamaican militia, which up until 1952, that's the name of the JDF, it was called the Jamaican Militia. Has the Jamaican militia, or let's say the Jamaican army, has the Jamaican army ever fought a war with another country? No. You know who the Jamaican army has fought with?
The people.
Us. Us. The only people these soldiers have ever killed is Jamaicans. Just like they did in Tivoli. We might have to edit.
So Jamaica have an army, never been to war. They just use the army and the people then. You see that? You have an army. What is the reason you have an army? Nobody's attacking you. Who's going to attack you? Trinidad? Oh, St. Lucia. Oh, Grenada. And fly in a plane and fly to Jamaica and go job bombs. Why you have an army? For what? Your army is only there to beat the people them up, mash them up. That is why your army is there. Your army is not there for nothing else but to kill the people.
Off the video here, but I'm just letting you all know that is what they were there for. The Jamaican army is not there to defend us. Who are they going to defend us from? Trinidad? We know they can't fight America, and that won't happen anyway. They are there to maintain the power of the Governor General by violence and force. By 1962, as the black population became a supermajority, and I love that word, because what it means is that we went from outnumbering them to outnumbering them so massively that they knew that they couldn't possibly continue with the system that they had. They had to make some changes. In order to appease the black citizens, the British Crown decided to hand over some responsibility to the desegregated local parliament. Remember, before 1962,
The so-called independence of the so-called independence
we always have.
of
1962,
1962.
they allowed some niggas to enter the Gordon House. Or I should say some more. I mean, Hugh Sherrill was there, but he was like a total Negro. Not to offend anyone, all right? But this is all Independence Day.
The British flag, which has flown over Jamaica for the past 3 centuries, is about to be replaced by the Jamaica national flag, heralding the birth of the new nation. The lights go out. The Union Jack is lowered, and the new flag of Jamaica waves.
Population control, Richard.
It must have been a really powerful moment for everybody that was there. You know, I know my grandparents were full of pride, but we didn't know what they were selling us. All they did was literally give us a flag and an anthem. And I promise you that's all that changed. It was a lie. Here's what the Act of Independence did not do. And by the way, I've read that act. I read a bunch of acts. You have to when you're dealing with this subject matter. You got to read a whole lot of colonial laws. We know what it did. Here's what it didn't do. It did not relinquish the Queen's claim of dominion over the island. She still owns it. It did not return ownership of the
That
land.
means England still run Jamaica.
We don't own them.
You know, I have
It
not.
did not restore our
They're just
birthright
not taking care of
inheritance.
it.
It did not compensate the natives for the wealth stolen from us through 400 years of slavery.
They never paid
It
nothing
did
back.
not remove the Queen as head of state. She's still very much there. And by the way, I've heard that the government here has said that they want to remove the Queen and move us to a republic. They don't have the authority. They do not have the authority. That's something that they tell you in an election to get you worked up because they know that Jamaicans are full of national pride. But they don't have the authority. They work for her. How your employees are going to take away your ownership? How can your employees take away your power? They did not rescind the Governor General's lord of the land. He still is, we know that. And he's still the Commander-in-Chief of the military. That's why, again, we might have to edit this, but that's why when Bruce Golding wanted them to go into Tivoli and kill some Jamaicans, he had to get the Governor General to declare a state of emergency and send in the army. Prime Minister doesn't control the army. The army is still the militia, and it's there for the Governor General to enforce the power of the Queen through violence. I'm not saying this to be controversial.
And first of all, I want to say that to all of these islands that say they are independent, you think you are independent? You still have general, governor, general, and all these people are reporting to the Queen. So how could you tell me you have people right in your country are watching everything you are doing, and if you try to do anything different, it will be reported to the Queen. So how you are independent and you are not running nothing? They think they play you, they give you a flag and a national anthem, and that was it. They don't pay you for nothing or your hard work, nothing. Nothing at all. Not a thing. They didn't pay you for it. And you're not. Yeah, they didn't pay us for not a thing. And we are not saying nothing. All what we are saying is we are fighting against We are fighting against each other.
Controversial. I'm saying this as a matter of fact, and more important, I'm saying this as a matter of law. It did not revoke the birth certificate bonds on the citizenry. We're still bonded. I showed you that.
We are in bondage. We're still
And it
bondage.
did not resolve the debts that have been accrued upon the people. This so-called independent nation started out flat broke. And not only broke, but we started out in debt. So the government of Jamaica and the Bank of Jamaica, which are both foreign-owned entities, meaning they're owned by the Queen. We don't own them. I've read the Bank of Jamaica Act of 1960. We do not own the Bank of Jamaica. All right? There is a reason that you can go to the University of the West Indies and never be required to read any of this stuff.
True that.
There's a reason you can do 4 degrees and never learn that the birth certificate is a bond. Because if they taught you how your system of law was actually designed to work, you probably would not submit to it. So the GOJ and the BOJ began to borrow large sums of money from predatory multinational lenders. We know them well. The International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the USAID. Those loans carried high interest rates and harsh penalties called structural adjustment policies.
True indeed.
Here's an example of a structural adjustment policy. We have 3 million people on this island. How many full-service general hospitals do we have? 6. 6 hospitals on an island of 3 million people. Portmore is the most populous city in the Caribbean, and Portmore still doesn't have a general hospital. The reason Portmore doesn't have a hospital is because of something called structural adjustment policies. When the IMF lends you money, they tell you what you can spend it on. And they told us explicitly, you can't build no new schools. We haven't built any new schools in 20 years. We haven't built any new hospitals in 30 years. This is why. This is the grip of poverty.
So how could you be independent and you have a bigger man telling you what could you do in your own country? Because they loan you some money. Huh? Do that because they want to keep the people in poverty, in pain and agony.
The other thing that these structural adjustment policies have caused is the sell-out of all our resources. That's why we don't own the bauxite. We don't own the tourism industry. We don't own the telecommunications company. We don't own the power company. We don't own the water company. We sold out all the farmland. We sold out the airports. We don't own them.
We don't own nothing.
So 52 years later, as we were waving flags this August, those SAPs are essentially running the economy. They dictate everything from the value of the dollar to the rate of income tax, to whether a school stays open or your road gets fixed. Today, half of every dollar of tax you pay goes towards servicing the debt. And the other half, by the way, goes to royalties and the bondholders. Your taxes do not finance your country at all. At least your income tax doesn't, not the dollar of it. The end result, of course, is a bankrupt economy. There is a group, a think tank in Washington, D.C. called the Center for Responsible Economic Policy. They published a report last year. In that report, they declared that Jamaica is the single most indebted nation on the planet. That means that of all the 198 countries on earth, we're the only ones who owe so much money relative to the size of our economy. Our debt exceeds our GDP. We cannot possibly repay it. We're not meant to. And basically, we now have an entire population working to service that debt. We're now debt slaves. We've gone from being bound slaves to being bonded slaves to being debt slaves. That's what the subtitle on the flyer you got said.
That's why those of you that believe, I worked 50 years, I worked 20 years, now I work retire. Yeah. Yeah, What you telling me that for? They've been using you and abusing you. And you looking at me and asking me, Red, where do you work? I'm self-employed. They ain't gonna milk me. I'm gonna milk myself for myself.
How we were made slaves and why we're still not free.
So yes, people, you see the things? So when you mash up, okay, people don't forget to smash that like button. I have this live here. I have a workout at 7 tonight. You could tune in for this workout. I'm gonna have for you. You're gonna love it. But I had to bring this. This is very important to let people know that. And when I keep saying that, half of the story never been told. Half of the story never been told. Yeah, half of the story never been told. And this is why these people does the things that they do to us. Okay? This is why they lie. They treat us like this. They set up a colonial system for us. That in this colonial system, we represent nothing. We are nothing in their eyes. That's why they treat us the way they treat us. And some of us that all about where we lost and cannot be found, and ignorance, hatred for their own self. I'm eating some figs. See how they look? All these natural enzymes. Look inside the fig. See how that look? Now, this is something that builds sperm. I don't want to stray from the subject, but this is all natural. This has so much vital energy in there, so much protein in there. You know, this will actual iron. This will build sperm. This is rich. All natural, no sugar, no process. This is that. These are figs. No process. This is that. Okay, we're done with that. We're done with that. Okay. So yes, people. You want some? Hold on there. Let me give my boy a piece. So yes, my people. Sorry about it. My little boy, anytime he see my mouth move, he wants his mouth to move too. Well, I hope this video didn't cause nobody no harm. Well, it will hit a lot of people. But I don't mean nothing. I'm not fighting against nobody's religion. I'm just bringing the truth.
The debt has to be repaid with an island on its own.
Most definitely. And that is the problem here. You see? Let me say something to you all my people. This old man, this old stupid man. Everybody says I was stupid man. I like to be stupid. Sometimes it's good to be dumb to be wise. This fix is so nice. You see? When someone has done you wrong, they never forgot. They know what they did. See, they take a lot from us. They know it. They know they've done us wrong. They know it. We did us dirty. They know it. And because they know it, it's upon their mind, upon their hearts, upon their conscience. And now, it's just beating them like a dead horse, you know? That they know what they did, and they just don't know the day, the time, the hour when the same thing will be done to them. And an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Once again, I don't promote prejudice, but sometimes when people speak the truth, people get offended. People feel like the truth is too heavy for them. I mean, God, if you got a dog and you lock it in a cage and you're joking it every day with sticks and you're training it bad, and one day, man, that dog won't get you. And you can't blame the dog, man. See, because you never treat the dog good. Dogs are very obedient. No, I'm not saying I'm a dog. I'm a king. We're kings, of course. And these people who has come and eradicate our history, our own personal relationship with ourselves, you know, breaking our reception upon who we are as a nation of people, you know. I mean, this is mental, physical, spiritual, all kind of torture right there. Not until after all these years, these people still cannot come back. These people we are just far gone, you know. We just involved in all kind of stuff. We don't care. We're killing white, black. We're killing everybody. We even killing ourselves. We just like, yo, the punishment is just real great. But one of the things that causes that too is because of lack of knowledge. And like I said, the education, being miseducated. And that even creates a burden on oneself too, because if one does not, if the one that is educating you, who knows your history, who knows about who you are, and sincerely, their input is to just allow you to keep you on the level. This is why most Caucasian people or most other nations of people does not see black people as equal to them. You know, they watch it like they are more inferior, or, you know, we are nothing. So, and then we have blacks that do it to blacks. We got people, blacks that is of a lighter skin color than another black, and the lighter skin color would pretend that they are much, you know, higher than this person. So, you know, that was something real, you know, savagery that was done to us. And the after effect to it is trauma. It's very traumatizing that you have people who just, you know, don't love themselves. You have people that, you know, they will never be, it will go on to generations to generation, and this is why they set it up to be this, because if we were the kings and queens and they find a way to eradicate us, and if every time they attack one of us or a nation of us and they destroy us and they put us in band-aid, we becomes property to them. We becomes war's property, you know. And after that, after they have done that, they say, okay, we're gonna go as far as we're gonna see that we're not gonna allow these people to know anything about themselves. So we're gonna eradicate anything they have. We're gonna make sure that they even speak a different tongue. If we ever catch the two of them talking or teaching, we're gonna chop off the hand. We're gonna kill that one. We don't want nobody to read and write. The only time we start reading and writing is when they start back trying to teach us. Because they figure by having one or two of us that could read and write could help them to control the rest of us. So we have not been these people has paid everybody else that they have done abomination to. But it's just only us. Because in their eyes, the only reason why they're not paying, because we are the property. If it doesn't have ownership of something and you destroy it, you have to pay for it, right? Don't it? If you got your bike and I just take your bike and I go crash your bike and you didn't give me your bike, crash your bike, you ain't gonna want that crash bike. You don't want your bike fixed, you don't want a new bike. The only way you're not gonna fix that bike is if that bike belongs to you, in a sense. So we are the properties and they could just break anything we got and they doesn't have to pay for it. The policeman could come inside of your house, ransack your entire house and mash up your house. And he says, "Oh, such a warrant." I don't know about breaking your furniture. if I'm that's gonna help him to find anything, but it does that. Majority of them, not all of them. So we still have properties. It is signed by our mothers and fathers the day you was born, the birth certificate. And it's a certificate of ownership. They own you. That's why the authorities could do what they want with you when they come for you. They could say, I'm not going, take your hands off of me. No. You stay property. You're property. And that's what's going on.
Somebody said they want to keep the people divided because united, they get it done.
True indeed. Like I said, if I have to sit down and study a group of people, a nation of people, and I knew of these people, their might, when they fellowship, I knew of their strength, their leadership. And I know one of the things that these people had was togetherness, understanding. And if I ever conquer these people, you think I will allow these people to ever try to come together again? I know, look at ants. One ant is weak. He might not even be able to carry this peanut right here. But I guarantee you, you go around the corner, tell his friend tells his other friend, in an instant, that peanut moving like it's nothing. Together in numbers, we are stronger. To be divided is to be conquered. And that's just what they did. And that's what they're doing until today. They're having me against you, you against me. And it keeps going on, ongoing story. They want to get me, they give you a little bit of money. Come and get me. You know? They always, because their ownership. They know what you want. They got what you want. But these careless Ethiopians, or these careless, my careless brothers and sisters, who had all the riches in the world. We grew up, diamonds and gold was around us. We never went crazy for it. In Africa, in America, all over the world. There's some people that had gold, diamonds, rubies, precious stones. They didn't know they were there, but they didn't have no use for it. That wasn't the delight. What was the delight was nature. Feeding and eating of nature. You can't eat a piece of diamond. I give you the biggest piece of diamond, right? I'll drop you in the desert. When you're thirsty or you're hungry, eat your diamond. Because that's what you want. And I'll be walking with my bag of nuts and my figs. And then I see you in the desert. And you say to me now, you're willing to break your diamond so you can get my food. And I know in the desert it's crucial. I don't want your diamond. I don't want that. I can't eat that. I might die. Pocket. And the crow might just fly and catch its eye and take my diamond and go in its nest to give it to it. The offspring. People must be mindful. things of the earth will deceive you. And these evil forces, they know man, greed. So they always impose wealth, the urge of wealth. I gotta have money. But I told you the time is coming. Money gonna be all over the place. And it ain't gonna have no value. All of y'all with your $1 billion and all your brand new Lambos, your Rolexes, all your hype stuff. I will be dealing with agriculture. You're gonna be dealing with your pretty car and your gold and your diamond. And that day, you will want to give me your car, or your limbo, or your Rolex for my watermelon, or for my fruit that is growing in my little yard. That day. And that day you will run away from your tall mansion, your big tall skyscraper. And you're gonna want to run to the jungle. See? Just wait. Just wait, my friend. You wait. It's not too long. We're gonna get there. We get this little by little. Getting rougher and rougher. Tougher and tougher. Just wait to hear what the government have planned for us, and all the new laws and regulations and rules that they have, waiting for this pandemic to over or to ease off. That's what they're gonna put onto the people. A lot of y'all got your teeth out right now and you're skinning your teeth, are happy. You're getting free money. Alright. Well, we never get nothing. It's nothing wrong getting something, at least a little something. But be wise. Because they're putting bricks. I never get none. I don't know why. Money never do nothing to me. Money is not bad, you know. It's the people with the bad mind that handle money. They worship it so much, it becomes part of them, like drugs. Told all these evil people that have been doing wickedness unto the creation of the Most High. That day and your day is numbered. The will turn inside out, start devouring your own self. And some of y'all will leave your jobs and flee into the hills and into the forests. Y'all ain't gonna want. One thing about figs, when you're eating figs, you gotta open them. Sometimes they could dry out. I always open them. It's like this one. This one is excellent. When like this one here, I open it and it had this real black. I don't like it like that. I like when I open it and it's that's how it is. So I will eat probably, I don't want to. I might eat 5 of these and Brazilian nuts. I have my green juice, nourish, keeping vital. Putting the right things in the body is important. Mind over matter. Ital is vital. And that is what it's about. What is the questions going on, you know?
What is Africa's high grade bread?
If you do what?
What is a high grade? The dollar sign is based on control. It used to be based on gold.
All them dollar sign. All them money. Remember one time they tell us pound shillings and pence. Flip it around. I tell people this. We use money, right? You ever see money mark on the money? You know how a dollar bill? You ever see it say money? Why it doesn't say money? But we call it money. Why? Hmm? It's money. But it doesn't say money on it. These people are very tricky for it. Money becomes currency. Because money is actually not money. If money was money, then money would spend anywhere. But money changed into currency. So if you don't have the currency, not the money, the currency. My friend Maurice, God bless him, he put me onto that. I always start spending money. So I say you're never too old to learn. Spending money, but I never seen M-O-M-E-Y on the money. I never see it. M-O-M-E-Y. Never see it. So we're spending money. Get to find out we're not spending money. They tell us it's money, and we accept it's money. But it's that currency. That's what it is. So why don't call it currency? Why tell me I got money? And if I jump the plane, if I go on the plane and go to another part, then my money becomes no good. So we know Christopher come boss us. Really boss us up. Christopher come boss us up hard. I have what?
Hey, when you go running or jogging, what's your breathing like with the nose or mouth?
Oh, I try to breathe more out of my nose. My mouth, I close my mouth. I let all air comes out through my nose. In and out. That's the best way. Don't run with your mouth open. It's no good. Control the breathing capacity through the nostrils. Any more questions?
One word government.
One word order. Yes, indeed. We are waking up little by little. What's good for what? You asked me what's good for what?
For ulcer.
Ulcer? First of all, condition yourself. Stay away from greasy food, fried food, sodas, alcohol, eating late, spaghetti, and potato, Irish potato, white flour, mayonnaise. Stay away from them stuff. And pepper. This type of pepper sauce you be buying around the place, from fried chicken place, you dump it on your stuff. Then have that code red in it. That's not good. From the moment you start watching what you're eating, will ease off your ulcer. Because the things that give you ulcer, you're eating things that your body don't want. Okay? Did you ever been to the doctor for that ulcer? I don't know. I don't know how bad is your ulcer. I lost what?
How many times in a week do you stretch?
I stretch every day. You have to stretch. Sometimes before you start working out, you have to stretch. You need to stretch. When you get out of your bed, you need to stretch. Sometimes if you're sleeping and you had a hard night, rough night, maybe you overwork yourself. You went to bed. Okay, last 2 days I've been running and I've been working out. Okay. And the first day I went and run, when I took a shower. I went to bed. I went to sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, my leg, my toes, my calves, my thigh, my back, stiff. And I don't know what it is. Right there, I just started bending easy to try to touch my toe to free that back. And I start stretching. I stretch, put my hands up. It's easy stretching to, release that muscle. Your nerves are tender right now. I'm playing with it little by little, getting it pumping little by little. And then I walk from the bedroom into the living room, sat on the floor, open my legs out, make my head touch the floor. When I first started, it was kind of stiff, and that's things that I do regular. But I noticed since I did the run, and the distance of the run, my whole body was moving. The last run I did was the ending of the summer, So now I did this run and my foot bottom is sensitive, my calves are achy, and I have to go work out tonight. My body's achy right now. I went to Wingate. I did the tires. I did stuff. But this is how my body builds real fast too, because I don't give, when I do a workout, even though I'm sore, like right now I'm sore, but I'm still gonna do a workout. My workout, even though I'm sore, I'm gonna do it because it's gonna help me to, that pain, get over that pain. When you do a workout and you feel sore the first day, if you don't do nothing, your body is gonna get more tense. You're gonna get more pain. It's gonna hurt more. But don't forget, people. At 7 o'clock tonight, I got my live Bust Up Sweat Friday. Looking forward in. It's gonna be good.
I want to know what's good for autism.
What's that?
What's good for autism?
Autism? I'm gonna have to get back into it. I just got my book. Oh, look, not this one. I just got my book, and I'm trying to get other books. I can't really tell you off the bat right now, but give me a little bit. I'm gonna look into it. I don't claim to know everything, but the little that I know, I will share. And that's why I said to you guys, and listen, if you have a personal problem, or that goes to anybody, please check your doctor. Do not sit there with an issue that is major and check the doctor. If you know, it's always good to. Okay? I'm going to tell you all that. I'm not going to sit there and play super doctor with you all. No. Common sense is made before books. I doesn't have stuff to do surgery, and I don't do surgery. And sometimes you can have an issue where you need to see a doctor. That could cut you up and do that surgery. I mean, it's not everything to cut up. There are certain things that probably if you get to drink or whatever that could clean up. But we're using our common sense here, God deal with that. So
I always go to the doctor, and then when I know what the problem is, I try to treat it myself.
there you go. That's a perfect decision. That's perfecto. Because sometimes you just need to go to have an idea what is going on. And then when you know what is going on, then you could use herbs. You know what is the problem. You know, you could deal with it differently at an early stage. But some people wait for things to get too late. Then they want to try to use herbs by that time. That's too late. That's too late. So what you're doing is good. Always go to the doctor, check yourself up, get an idea of what's going on with you. And I come to what the, and it's always good to have a second opinion too. You don't want to just go to one doctor and the doctor say XYZ and you gotta yes doc. Always good, because remember, this is a money making thing too. And there are people who's waiting to collect a organ, something from you. There are people who walk through the hospital and they never came out. Well, nothing wrong with him, you know, he just went to the doctor for a simple thing and he never came back. You gotta be mindful of everything. We even have to be mindful of ourselves, because sometimes ourselves lead ourselves astray. You know what I'm saying? So the importance of this vlog today, well, to really know that history is there. But if history is going to be told by the ones that would never allow to speak the truth, then history will always be behind the closed door. And we will go with what we don't know, but what was told to us. And we are just following. That's why the brother, I like how he break it down, showing you the white Jesus and showing you the white master. So the inferiority of that whole thing here was white people are angels and they are gods, and you know, and yeah. But you see, look how long they've been showing us Jesus white, the Virgin Mary white, all the angels are white, the disciples are white. It's just a whole white thing. So again, I say I'm not here for prejudice and color, but color play a big role here. Why is it if color doesn't matter? If you find the origin of something in the true essence, why don't you leave it like how you found it? Why would you want to change it to what you want it to be? Any question?
Yeah. All of my stuff is like any natural food or herb or under active thyroid?
Yeah, there's a thing called cola nut. Cola nut is excellent. Most people call it busy. Get the cola nut. He said fiber. Okay, fiber also goes with food that will trigger your fibers. And again, be mindful of black pepper. Black pepper is not a good thing. Maybe you could use cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is one of the most pepper. The better pepper, that's all natural. Black pepper is a thing that gives you gallstones and irritates your fibers. But I would say to you, again, these things comes out of your body and grow into your body when you're not healthy. And you might say, yes, I am. because I eat that and I eat that. But no. Like I tell people, if you're eating cooked food all your life, you're gonna have problems. Have problems. If everything that you eat is cooked, everything you drink is sugar, like is a chemical warfare going on with you, you're gonna get sick. And when we start to get sick, what happens is we start getting sick by the inside. Now there are things that trigger certain sicknesses or causes certain problems. And if you just change your diet, and some people say, oh, diet don't have nothing to do with it. Diet have a lot to do with it. Certain foods certain people cannot eat because the inside of the body has damage. Damage is real bad. So after a while, even the food they cook, it's a problem to them. The food that they will cook to eat becomes a problem. So really, you're cooking the food, you're already killing all the nutrients in it, number one. So you're just eating to be filled, but you're not actually eating to be healthy. You're just eating to see another day. And I would say to you, go back, get yourself a juicer and start juicing. Start bringing certain blueberries, blackberries, certain berries together and bring them together and combinating them. Going and dealing with celery and beets or celery and parsley, you know, dealing with natural juices that will help to create enzymes, like the enzymes that your body needs and able to create a fresh immune system. You need live food, lots of coconut water, papaya, fruits, eat the seeds, a lot of beets to help with the blood, a lot of sea moss. Got 92 minerals in it and your body need it. Start juicing and I guarantee you could try it. Whatever problem say to you with the ulcer, what is it, ulcer? Thyroid, sorry. You'll notice there'll be a change. You'll notice there will be a change with you. Clean the navel circular. Okay? Now, aloes, be mindful with the aloes. It's acidic. And we don't want too much of it. But sometimes a little something, because the aloes holds a little something in it for the navel circular. And the medicine that I could give you, I could tell you that you could make, because I have drank it and I have given it to my people. And this is a woman or male? Male? Okay. And I could tell you about this medicine. Now, like I said, if you stay away from white sugar, if you stay away from white flour, if you stay away from sweets, if you stay away from candy, dairy products, mayonnaise, and a lot of this other stuff, and a lot of food that you buy at the supermarket that's already made for you. You stay away from these stuffs and you start detoxing, flushing yourself. You will heal yourself. The body has the ability to heal itself, but it needs the minerals that it needs, like your zinc, your copper, and all that, B12, all that. It needs this. And you're going to get that not in dry vitamins, but you could get this by combining fruits and herbs and eating natural food, not processed food, not food that you use cooked with fire, but food that as you eat, it will be starting to rejuvenate your skin, your ability, okay? And that will help you. Next question. Next. I'm fat as a far.
How did you get started eating healthy?
Pour me some more of that green juice, please. Look at my glass. I don't get fat here. How did I do it?
How did you get started eating healthy after 45 years of eating unhealthy?
Well, first thing you need the awakening. What would you wait for? Would you wait for until you get a heart attack? Would you wait for until you go to the doctor and they tell you that you're diabetic? One of the problems that will actually cripple you, take your life. Yeah, that's good. Or we does not have to wait to hear these things from our doctors to actually wake up and to know that, okay, if you love you, if you have grandchildren, you have children, and you would want to be there. Thank you, I appreciate you. Appreciate you for that $2, appreciate you. And you wanted to be there for your grandchildren. Then you would know the joy of having your grandchildren and you being a part of their life. It's a part of you eating healthy, working out, and trying to live a clean life. Nobody cannot change you until you are willing to change. You have two choices. You could look at people that was here before you and look at the lifestyle, the way they live, the way they eat, the way they go. And then, now don't get me wrong. There are people who live good lifestyles and die young. A stray bullet, car crash, heart attack. Yeah, things happen. Yeah, sometimes a person will get so upset, so angry, they could bust a vessel in the head. You know. But I'm saying on the contrary of, because I'm the living proof. I knows when I don't run. I knows when I don't exercise. I knows when I just sit down and relax how lazy and sluggish I becomes. I don't like that feeling. You see, I'm very aware whenever, like in the wintertime, like when the summer's out of here, I'm like, wow, I'm going to take my break. I got to be mindful of that. Because you get so comfortable after a while, you lost it. And that's why every year, majority of times when I go back, I have to put my mind, soul, and body in it, put everything in it. And there's a thing called muscle memory. And because there's muscle memory, and I'm pushing myself, it doesn't take me that long to fall back right where I was and even to climax. But it's something, it's an activity. You got to do it. You got to make your body get addicted. We get addicted to a lot of things. We get addicted to cigarettes. We get addicted to weed. We get addicted to alcohol. We get addicted to women. Quick. Most young men ask, or most men ask, yo, Red, why don't I have this stamina? Why don't I have this? Well, your body is like from a biometrics in a sense, because you gotta, again, I like to use a car. You gotta brand your car, you bought it, but you just have it packed in the garage. You don't drive it. It's just packed. I know it's a brand new car, but you're not using it. It's gonna seize up on you. So your body's an engine, a vessel, that if you don't move it the way it's supposed to be moved, it's gonna lose its capacity. It's gonna go in on a lesser level. The key thing to keep you going and functioning is always keep going and keep pushing and getting stronger day by day. The stronger you become, the better it is for you. The longer it is for you to wither. If you're not doing it, if you're a person who drinks a lot, smokes a lot, you relax a lot, you sit a lot, then you eat a lot of things like cheese, you eat a lot of cheese, eat a lot of fried food, drinks a lot of soda, then what is happening to you now is, after a while, you might not even notice it, but your body just start changing on you. Your guts start getting big, you start getting fat in all different places. And if you embrace it and think you're just getting fat, by the time you realize what is happening to you, you end up looking like a bear. Got a bear belly. You know, your punch was a 34, 35. In an instant, you turn to be a 46. And you're still pushing. So it's just to be aware and to be vital with yourself to know, yo, I need to run. I need to be able to touch my toes. I need to be able to raise my leg. I need to be able to jump. I need to be able to run faster. And by you needing and wanting, you're going to go for it. If all these people that you see walking here, when they started growing older, like 60 and whatever, they didn't just accept it. Oh, I live my life already, so it would be still moving. Some of them don't move enough to make their heart beat. You're not moving. You're not doing no form of, you walking and say, well, I'm working. But the walk is not. You need to make that heart beat faster. Because the heart is a form of, it has this rhythm to it. It could be doop, 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 doop. Okay? Or you could have a heart beating doop, 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 doop. You want to have that, you know, your heart has different capacities of beating, the beatness to it. So if you keep it on that low frequency, boop, 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 boop. If you talk too long, you have to take a breath. You're making me get upset. I got to keep talking. I always have to keep talking. That you can't even do. That becomes a problem to you. So you have to push your body. You got to work your body. You got to exercise your body. What is the next question? Spelling the thing. Don't forget to smash that like button, people. Don't forget to, if you want your item vital t-shirts, you can call me and get your hoodie. You can get it. Call me. Ship them out for you. You can come pick it up. Do not forget for the summer, if you want the food or if you need any food, call in advance. The food will be cooked fresh and nice, and you can come pick it up. Okay? Smash that like button. Next question.
Do you have a 7-day food plan that you can use over and over?
Yeah. Like I said to people, it's important you eat, but it's important to eat the food that electrolytes your body, the live food. And I have, as I'm sitting here, I'm doing feeds and Brazilian nuts. I got my brain food, get my oil, get my brain food here. I get more vital in here. Okay? Then I'm sipping that with some green juice. So it's important. This here, my body loves this. My brain, every part of me going crazy for this. Every part of me going crazy for this. Instead, I would sit there and eat a big piece of steak and let it stick all in my teeth and makes your mouth stink. You have to go first, whatever. But I have a plan for the food. I have a plan for the food. I'll tell you, you could do your quinoa, your pumpkins, what do you call it, the long bean, you know? Keep bringing foods, like I said, salads, apricots, Takashi mushrooms. You get your B12 from the Takashi mushrooms. I mean, combination. Little portions. If you're outside, you could get some sunflower seeds with some macadamia nuts. You could go to the juice bar and just spend a little $8. Get a CMOS, or you could get a stallion. You know? All these nurturing. As time go by, you find yourself putting less soda, less artificial drinks in your body. That's what you're trying to eliminate. All this artificial stuff. By the time your body now stop getting these things, if it's eczema, it's gonna go away. Because the skin not getting what it was getting. You're changing anything. Drinking more water. Most people don't drink water. You need water. You got your kidneys, you got your liver. You need water. You need water. When you urinate, that's how you clean yourself. Urinating, defecating. How the body's cleaning itself, detoxing itself, purging itself. Imagine your body if you was not removing defecate out of your body. You would be toxic, like one of these black mambas or one of these. And we probably have some pretty color like marine beard on our skin. Because the majority of the time when it's deadly, and this to show you how vital it is, colors of fruits. The same way the snake, the toad, and certain dangerous creatures or animals or insects have pretty colors and or birds or whatever it is, and it could be deadly. It's the same way on the righteous side. Them same pretty color is healthy for you. So we know it's a left and a right. Because you might walk in the forest and see a pretty snake. And because of the color, and it's so pretty, you might want to play with it. And one time it hit you, you're gone in an instant. Yet still, they tell you anytime you see any of these things with their pretty color, leave them alone. But nature comes back and brings the same pretty color in nature's delight. And that same pretty color is what your body is urging for from the fruits. Yeah. So just eat right. My bro, I have the CMOS and I'm getting CMOS again. I'm getting some CMOS from St. Lucia and from Lobby. I got the CMOS. All what I'm waiting for is I ordered some other bags, not like these. These are for shirts. These are for shirts if you could see them, not these. Bags so I could ship the CMOS. Just, I don't know, my bro. Sometimes I say, these forces could only try to stop me, but they can't because I know that's what they're doing. I have the CMOS, people are asking, I'm selling CMOS, but the grand finale to put CMOS on. I got CMOS on Wix.com. And nobody, I don't know what's going on with the page. I don't get nothing coming through that page. But I got CMOS. So I got red CMOS. This is also CMOS too. As you mentioned it, I just remember. This is CMOS. That's a different type of CMOS. This CMOS here came from Jamaica. Okay? A friend of mine just sent up this for me. This is different. This is like he said it was purple CMOS. Okay? Purple CMOS. Okay? And that is from Jamaica. So I'm gonna make some of that. This one they dry by moonlight. And that's what to say. They get it out and they let it dry and then they package it. But I got also CMOS coming from St. Lucia. It doesn't look like that. It looks like the ones I've been showing you. Then I have CMOS from Lobby that's kind of red. So I think next week I'll make a vlog. I'm gonna have the CMOS. I'm waiting for my CMOS to come in, the bottle to come in. I'm gonna have a whole lot of CMOS in different ones. I'm gonna have the purple CMOS from Jamaica. Now this whole thing here, this whole package here, the brother sells, the thing, he's told me he sells it for 60. It is 60, he says $60 or something like that. I'm not too sure, but he gave me. I think he said $60 or $70. I gotta ask, but I think it's $70. He said you pay for this because, and this CMOS here is different. It looks like it's herb, but it's not. It's that purple CMOS, purple from the Himalaya mountains, purple CMOS from Jamaica, and he said this one is very expensive. But like I said, I got CMOS coming from St. Lucia, and I have CMOS coming from Grenada. In fact, the CMOS from Grenada is here. It's just, and I've been so busy, I ain't got time to go over there. I made a vlog at Lobby and to go over there and pick up the CMOS. I didn't get a chance to do that. I'm doing all that. But next week, if God spare my life, I'm gonna make a vlog with all my CMOS. I have this one. I'll have the one I'll be using. I have the red one. And from there, we'll set up prices on the CMOS. Because what I noticed, since the CMOS thing started popping out, CMOS been here for so long. But since everybody started talking about the CMOS went sky high. So now everybody wants to sell CMOS $100, pound, $80, pound. Yeah, I like this, $70. Because it's purple CMOS from the Himalayas. So it's a CMOS madness going on here. But I don't care because I know the value of it. It will save me money from going to the doctor and paying prescription. So I don't care how much it costs. That's why I'm trying to get a whole lot at a good price that I could sell and ship in small amounts, small portions, quarter pound, half pound, whatever it is. I could sell to the people. And I also want to make it pre-gel. So if y'all don't want to cook, if y'all don't have the time to go clean it up and do all of that, I could do that. And I have it in the gel form already, in a bottle, and you'll pay for that. So if y'all want the CMOS gel, that when I really wash it, soak it, clean it, and make it to be the gel, I'll do that and bottle it out and send it to y'all. And y'all cash at me. Alright? And y'all cash at me. So all this information I'm bringing to y'all is vital information. Information to live like a God. Eat good, healthy, energetic, powerful. Not being weak and feeble. You know? You always seem very energetic. Alright? So don't forget, 7 o'clock tonight. Join the live for the workout. Get ready to bust the sweat. This big Bust the Sweat Friday. I'm gonna have it for y'all guys. Alright? Peace and blessings. That was a 2-hour vlog. I hope that y'all find value in that vlog that I bring out here. It's very educational. And I appreciate y'all. Under the concept of good over evil, mind over matter, love thy neighbors as thyself, and all praises unto the Most High. And don't forget, people, we are employed by the Divine Vine. Salute, peace and blessings. See you guys at 7. Love you guys.